So we'll pretty much be watching into the 9:30 as well as 10 a.m. Kind of see what develops. Obviously we have some big market news coming later in the day, so we want to be cautious of that. We don't want to do too much ahead of that. As you can see, I've used the personal lockout feature on the Top One Project X platform. That's just so I don't accidentally hit anything while I'm moving stuff around. I like doing stuff like that. Keep it nice and neat. It just helps you stay safe. Many times when I'm on a laptop that I accidentally hit enter, it's ridiculous. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're on the new Top One platform. Almost. Almost. It's almost time. So I was able to get access last night just to set everything up, honestly, being able to get all my charts all organized. I'll have a video out on that later just to show everybody how I do all my charts as well. How I do all my settings, my risk settings, the whole nine. But yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to. You'll have access to this. I believe I think it's 10 a.m. Pacific. So yeah, a little under 4 hours until launch. Pretty much by the time people are seeing this on YouTube, you'll be able to get onto the Top One platform and get instant funded up to 150K accounts, however you want to do it. Yeah. There's definitely a couple add-ons you can get. You can either do. There's one to obviously remove like a daily loss if you want to have more risk. I don't recommend that. Maybe someone wants to do that. I don't think do that. And then yeah, you can have more flexibility with payouts with one of the upgrades. So a lot of cool features with these account types. It's nice being able to just hop into an instant account for pretty much the price of an eval account. Because what I tell people is I realize this is, as I mentor a lot of people trading on prop firms, one thing that people do is they'll pass an eval in an easy condition, then markets get a little bit harder, and then they struggle during the funded portion, and then they blow the account, and then the cycle starts over. So if you end up on a bad timing with the market, it's real annoying. So we're back into the, I believe, new week opening gap for NQ. ES is not quite there yet. I guess you could. No, not yet. It looked like almost an SMT on the hourly for ES and NQ, but just not yet. Soon though, we'll see. The fact that we've sold off, I don't know, was it 6 hourly candles in a row, 7 hourly candles in a row, is interesting to say the least. I think there's gonna be a lot of this weird whippy back and forth action. Sometimes when there's big news looming, you'll get a really tight consolidation, but you can also get these very just wide kind of swings without really a lot of pullbacks. So I'm open to that as well. As you can see, I'm personally being patient. I'm making a point to be patient today just because, well, Liberation Day or whatever Trump wants to call it doesn't happen every day. It's clearly going to be a significant thing in the market. At best, it has a mild reaction, but I'm going to assume market structure changes quite a bit following that announcement. So we'll mark out some levels on here so everyone knows what we're kind of looking at. Right here, we'll see. Yeah, I like the swing low. I think this will be relevant. Got to get all my levels the right colors too. So I'll do this like this. I normally do my levels at a lower opacity. Just keeps it cleaner for me. 75 or 50. So it's marking out the weekly open. Obviously, the weekly open, it coincides with the new week opening gap. Right here, I'm just specifically going to write out the weekly open because what I'm doing is I'm trying to visualize where the weekly candle is going to flip if it needs to, right? I have a hard time believing that there's been a but the other thing I like to do with all my charts is I like to have the magnet setting on a week setting, so that way it pins to levels. So let's look at this again. See what I did wrong there. Yeah, it's a weekly open. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, a 60-minute, 15-minute. On a day like this, where I looked at the charts last night, I don't see anything super clear. I'm not going to do a ton of analysis overnight or last night because I know something like this could happen. That's why I kind of just sit on the sideline and say, you know what, I don't like the reaction that we formed at the highs. It's kind of lacking enthusiasm, so it primes me to expect something like this. This isn't something that's like surprising to me. It makes sense based on how we closed. We barely closed a high a day. Like we kind of rallied there. We kind of had like a relief rally, but afternoon rally at 2 p.m. But this thing was largely selling off, so I'm not surprised that we just run the high by one tick or 1 point, right, and then just roll. So you could be looking at NQ today. I'm looking at ES. Obviously watching both, but it's up to you. Can I increase my volume a little bit? Yeah, I can. Microphone volume. Let's see. Microphone, mic. Yeah, I got you. It's quiet. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Anytime something's off, just let me know. I'll check out the settings. Nice. Nice. All right, so is this louder? Can you guys kind of confirm with me? Or is it quieter? Same. How about now? Hello, hello. Regardless, I just need to get a new mic. I've been just kind of waiting. I'm waiting for my new office to get the new mic, but we'll see. It's good now. Awesome. Yeah, I think the cable might have been loose or something. I got this is like a $20 mic or some shit. I had someone who was like, "Hey, try this mic out." It was before I was doing any sort of content. I was like, "All right, cool," and it's worked so far. But I need to upgrade to something like something nice. Whenever I'm editing and I hear the microphone quality, I hate it. Drive safe. Drink some water. Dean's Bean says he's up 600 on a fresh combine. That's solid work, man. Yeah. So we're pretty much just going to hang out for the open. I definitely recommend if you're up like that, it's time for you to chill, like you said. That's kind of, I think a lot of us are on the same page today. Kind of take it a little slower. I'm not super eager to take a trade at the open. I might even just wait until 10 a.m. I might just hit the lockout feature again and wait till 10 a.m. What's up? What's up? How you doing, Matthew? But yeah, we'll see. So it's a Project X on top one. If you guys aren't familiar, it's a platform I've used for a minute. I really enjoy Project X. I think it's one of the best platforms for definitely for futures, obviously. But as far as like I've used a ton of different brokers and all that, this is the best user experience I've had for sure. Very, very, very simple. So yeah, you'll be able to sign up. You'll be able to sign up for sure. You'll be able to get an account with top one in like 3.5 hours, 10 a.m. Pacific. But yeah, if you want to use the platform, it's just one of the platforms they offer for trading, trading futures through your platform. So they also offer practice accounts, I believe. So you'll be able to get that. That's something you can use with any sort of combine you buy. If you're just getting started in futures, I definitely recommend doing some sort of eval. But if you've been doing it a minute, just do straight to funded. There's gonna be a lot of deals running today. I'll be giving away some accounts for sure for anybody who's getting accounts today. So we'll have more info on that. But yeah, I'll get you guys familiar with what this platform has. Obviously, when you get it, there's gonna be a lot more different widgets on here. My charts are simple because I make them simple. So I have a video I'll post in probably a couple hours on how to do that. I already have it recorded, so. All right, so we're seeing a reaction right here with NQ versus the new week opening gap. I like what I'm seeing so far. I like what I'm seeing with that. That is a very good indication for really nothing, honestly. It doesn't tell us too much. It's kind of joking around, but I do like seeing that level start to react. There's no actionable setup for me to take at this point, though. So we'll just continue to monitor it. I am in no rush today. I don't think I'll be rewarded for rushing into a trade. Okay, nice. I used to using the DOM. Yeah. It's better if you have like the full depth of market on here. I just have just the top of the book, but I'll update that today. I do like the DOM as well. I like it for just seeing how price is moving. You know, it's really nice to see how your orders moving in the book. Like, you know, are you up? Are you down? It's also, yeah, good for judging speed for sure. So go ahead, look at that hourly for NQ. See that little parabola type action? Even ES. This tells me not lower. So we'll look to see if there's a little bit of a higher low that forms, a little pullback or something, to then maybe target VWAP, right? Oh, yeah, this thing's ripping. So again, it's one of these not short moments, right? Everyone's like, oh, short. Why? Why does it have to go lower? You know, we're going to see how it reacts to the new week opening gap. We said 5,600 was our line in the sand. So 5,600 is about right here. So we're seeing it react. That's what we want to see. We'll go ahead and pretty much watch it up to 644. I don't know if we'll get that pullback, though. This is a little bit aggressive for me. If we can get maybe a pullback right here, we'll watch this zone. But what a move so far. 644 is VWAP area. Look at these ranges. Yeah, this might be our pullback right here. If we can close, motherfucker. See, that's just ramping. I don't want it to just ramp. I want it to be able to close like kind of weak or inside on one candlestick and then dip into this zone. So that way I can have a stop loss around here, right? And then target about 640. But if it keeps ripping, I can't do anything with it. I didn't catch the inversion at the open. So it's really hard to get position if that's what's going to occur. So what I'd be looking for is basically a move to 644. It's not pulling back a little bit. So I think that'd be the move. I'll probably just do one ES contract. We'll see how it reacts here. I'm not going to just jump in per se. I want to see how it reacts, but I'm going to be watching this right here. So yeah, this is getting close to our entry. Why is 5,600 line in the sand? Did that just test it? Fucking. Did it just test it by a wick? Like one little. No, it's equal. It's equal. So I got to give it time. Cool. 5,600 is a line in the sand for a number of reasons. So I posted some charts in the main chat. You can see those. Just the levels I can see from the near term. It seems significant. Whether you're looking at a volume profile for the sessions or you're looking at simply the new week opening gap, there's reason for it to hold right there. This action is very, very strong. It's nice. I like it. So no pullbacks. Thank you very much. If you go back and listen to the stream, I told you that this is likely where it swings one way and then swings the other way real aggressive. That's the other type of consolidation that we could see. Instead of just being chop, it could be just like, rapid swings. So if we get a pullback, which, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think this year has really been all that great for pullbacks. It's been kind of just chase the momentum. It's been teaching people a lot of like really, really, really stupid trades, but here I am on the sidelines. This is the type of move to make you mad, honestly. When it moves this aggressively, like, are you fucking kidding me? We're talking, 20 points on ES just straight up. Like, not even slowing down either. So we'll just keep watching it, but Yeah, what a joke. What a joke. Look at that, 15 minutes. So we'll watch for some sort of pullback. I'm going to keep saying it. We'll watch for a pullback. We'll watch for a pullback. The hourly is basing out. We'll pull up some charts just so you guys can see. It's been a good move, though. I mean, it's in alignment with what I expected. What I just say, parabola kind of selling off. Looks like it could bounce in this area. So I'm not surprised, but fuck you, man. Like, what is this? When you have 56.29.75 and then 56.29.75 right here as well. 50, let's see. Yeah, when those are equal, yeah, it's real annoying. I can't do anything with this. Like I can't enter if it doesn't go into the gap. Bullshit. So bear market's over. See you later, guys. Okay, we're starting to see a little bit of a pullback on NQ at least. What an aggressive move. So obviously I don't think it's coming back here. I think that's safe to say. Starting to see a little bit of a pullback. We'll see how it holds VWAP. If it can like reclaim VWAP, I guess, and like hold this as a higher low, we'll look left, right? So maybe right here. Maybe 61s, but dude, that's so aggressive. It's like already moved like a mile. So we won't overdo it. I think this year is I think it's gonna make me go insane. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I might lose it this year. I'm going to be institutionalized because of the lack of pullbacks that these markets have given. Like, I'm not asking for massive shit. I'm just asking for it to pull back into this fair value gap. Right here, 43. Like, pull into 43 and then start to run. Or pull into, like we said, even like 29.50 and then run. But I don't know why. I've just noticed a lot of the time on the upside, they do not dip. Yeah, this year is testing me. Yeah, I agree with that. That's funny. It's true though. There's just been too much bullshit. Like, and I'm not complaining. I'm speaking my opinion. There's been too much bullshit. There hasn't been that many like clean, like just pullbacks, like just basic type trades. It's always some bullshit like this. Like, oh no pullbacks, no dip into a fair value gap, nothing that you're familiar with. We just go higher. So it's, in my opinion, all it does is teach really bad habits, and that money gets transferred later. But maybe I'm being negative. So NQ seems to have pulled back into the fair value gap. We'll kind of watch it right here. I prefer if this was ES. Motherfucker. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Leave it alone. It don't feel right to me. I'm just going to sit. Chill. We're only talking 10 candles higher, and then it's going to go another 10. That's insane. ES breaking new highs. We're going to probably run midnight open real soon, 56.70 or 65. Yeah. Sidelined. So what did this react off of? It reacted right off the new week opening gap. This is like fucking money. This is a really, really strong level. Derek, this is a good one for you to kind of take notes on that new week opening gap that we talked about yesterday with ES. Today on NQ is where it just really, really, really ripped higher. So you might be saying, oh, why don't I take this trade? I can. Like, it's a trade you can take, but it's so high up here that I'm expecting it to at least probably fail this one. Like, it could just run, right? It could run, but I'm not going to buy right here and then my only trade be the one where it pulls back and then it goes. I'll miss out on this trade because I know the desire to take that trade is fueled by the fact that it's already moved, confirming my idea. So I don't want to be reactionary. I'd rather have a little bit of like discipline, patience, whatever you want to call it, and just say, you know what? I can have the foresight to understand that this might be a local top for then it to pull back. Because if you just buy every fair value gap, you're going to be kind of, chasing shit. I don't like chasing shit. That's for dogs. I like taking setups that come to me. So with that being said, we'll look at just this range and get rid of all of these colors because, right? I don't know why they make them terrible looking, but we want to get rid of The trend line, absolutely. And here's that little bit of that reversal. It's a tricky spot because, yeah, we might fail VWAP here, but I'm still going to watch it. I'm going to see if we can form a higher low into 945. Maybe that 5-minute fair value gap is what gets validated. I would like that. Maybe look at ES's 5-minute fair value gap. I think maybe that's a trade if it does come in. And we'll go over some ways to strengthen that thesis, but as it currently stands, yeah, Stalin, are we back? Yeah. I think we're back, man. I think we're back. Yeah, this is my favorite comment of the day. My favorite comment right here. He says, "You are going crazy in the calmest way." Yes, that's kind of what trading is. It's you find humor in it, right? Like you had to find this kind of funny when it's really really annoying. Otherwise, you're going to just start acting like a child and just throwing a tantrum. Like, oh no, I have to get in and chase and all this stuff. It's like it is what it is, right? It is kind of funny. Like the only reason we don't find it funny is because it's affecting us, but it is objectively kind of funny that like, hi, you guys wanted to go higher? Here you go. And it goes higher and it doesn't give you a fucking entry. That's like kind of hilarious. Just obviously it's not hilarious because I want to be in the trade. So you get there's a little bit of a dichotomy there. But you have to be in tune with your emotions with this shit. The reality is you won't catch every move. You're going to miss a lot of shit. Markets are going to continuously surprise you. And as long as you can be okay with that, you'll be fine. Most people, they can be okay with that for a little bit of time. But, once a reality of stuff starts pressing on them, then they think, oh, I need to force this. Trading always happens on its own timeline. All right, 30 seconds till that 5-minute close. That's also a 15-minute close. So we have a bit of a doji, if you will. I mean, NQ is pushing towards the high of that 5-minute. Yeah, we're just ripping off VWAP. That's yeah. Maybe should have anticipated that. But still, it's really just the same location. It's really high up there. I could take it. But we have this, let's see, 15-minute candle. Let's see if we get a wick on this next candle. I don't even think we're going to get a bottom wick. I think it's just going to run. So it's kind of funny stuff right there. We'll look at it right here. Yeah, see this? Look at this 15 right here. Typically, you get some sort of wick on the start of every candle. You never really know how deep. Like, I mean, hell, even if this comes back into here, that might be a really solid trade. Like sweep that low, create an inversion, then we get in for a run up to like 956. But yeah, this is just bear trap heaven, right? So I guess a good lesson here for you guys is London expansion, New York reversal. That's a very common tendency. Tendencies don't always happen, but they're very common, right? Like they can be at least. That's why we take note of them. It's unlikely for the market to sell off all night and then continue selling. It'll happen occasionally, but it's unlikely for that to be the case. It'll typically fade the move. ES is kind of slowing. NQ doesn't seem to be. Jesus. We're talking massive ranges, by the way, like 500 to 550 in like a couple seconds. Like it really seems like nothing right here. From the lows, yeah, we're up 225 points. Yeah, we give or take. Oh well, I don't think it's a day where I'm going to get a trade. I like that it's bouncing here because look at what's doing to the daily candle. I had a feeling we might do this. Like honestly, this was my inclination. I was thinking we'd form some sort of deep wick. I didn't know how deep, and then we'd give this like crazy hammer right here. So we haven't done the hammer part, but we've got the wick. So it's hopeful to say the least. Yeah, I guess this could go either way. You can view this as early strength to kind of front run the news, or this is just building up a premium to then sell from. Hard to say when you're back at the opening price, right? That's essentially the flip point for the candle. 5 minutes starting to form a top wick. NQ's tested midnight open. So if we want to draw that out for you guys on NQ, go ahead and look at midnight open right here. Midnight open. Label this for you. So midnight open's a very likely location where price can reject. It also ran this local swing high right here. So with those two levels, I'm not saying it has to stall out here, but it can, right? It's only 647. We'll stay nimble. I'm looking at the 5 minute on ES and MES right here. Look how we're topping a little bit. So I'm okay with this. If we pull back into that gap, I might be able to engage. But I'm going to be cautious that I don't get caught in a reversal. So location to watch right here for sure. Make these not look terrible. So one thing I definitely want to caution you guys on is when you see a strong move like this, it's not always going to just continue or whatever. It's also likely that it could be forming a swing high here, and then there's going to be some sort of lower time frame reversal. So I'm going to keep that in mind as well. You know, like a model 2022, like in the most classic sense, you might see that right here. I don't know how likely. I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but it is a very, very possible scenario for sure. So let's watch the 1 minute. Yeah, a little gap right here, I guess. So hard to get involved in this. Maybe a deeper pullback. Let's see. Let's get the 50% on here as well. So a tip with strong trends is they often won't give you 50%. They'll give you a 20% pullback, and that's where the challenge is. Knowing when you're in real strong conditions, it warrants a different skill set or a different set of tools, if you will. Yeah, I would like it if NQ comes back into VWAP and then maybe sweeps that low right next to it. Then I could get a couple pieces of confluence. I'm not sure it's going to give it to me though. But as long as you create a plan and you stick to that and you don't just like jump ship the first opportunity, you'll be fine. It's normally not the system that makes people, fail or struggle or whatever. It's their inability to actually just listen to just basic rules. If my trading plan said I have to enter at like 10:03 and I just did that, like if I just focus on waiting until at least 10:03, doesn't matter how arbitrary the rule is, it's the fact that you follow it that matters. That's what builds the discipline and that trust with yourself as a trader. So a little bit of maybe a 3 drives, right? It's kind of seen a little bit of exhaustion. It's typically not the strongest bullish signal when you're kind of pushing and not really going anywhere. So just watch this. Hourly candle closes in 9 minutes. I'm definitely waiting for that at this point. I think that's going to be key. All right, so let's see what the 1 minute looks like. Yeah, still chopping, so nothing for me here yet. We have 9 minutes. We'll find a good setup. If it presents itself, we'll see it. So that's the good part. Yeah, I usually enter around the same time every day. It's like clockwork, right? It's very common that you'll see those time-based tendencies. That's why I put out that video yesterday. I talked about the essentially the frame that I use for my trading with all my charts. It blocks out certain times a day because stuff happens at similar times. Reading 100% of the discipline. Very patient this morning, looking for good openings. Yeah, that's all that matters. When you can take pride in something that's not outcome related, meaning, oh, I made money, so therefore I'm good, forget about that shit. If you can say, you know what, I stuck to my word, that will pay you way, way better in the long run. Because the worst thing you could do would be buy a top like this and just get run over. You just be patient, sip on your coffee instead. There we are, seeing a little bit of selling. Boom. Went to bed last night thinking I love the steps I've taken to improve this week. That's all it is. That's all you need. When you can take pride in the steps you're taking, you will get the outcome you want. Because ultimately it's not about becoming, it's about being. Like if you want to be profitable, you have to be that. You can't just like, oh, have all these terrible habits, so then you're still gonna be very likely to kill it. It's like, no, it doesn't normally work that way. Is there ever a time where something becomes too extended that you stop looking for continuation and start looking for a reversal? Good question. Good question. No, I mean I can easily like, so. For instance, when I mentioned like a model 2022, I could look for a reversal, but you know what I'm not going to do? I'll tell you this: I'm absolutely not. No fucking way. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to look for a 1 minute reversal right here. I will not short this market structure. Yada yada yada. No, it'll run you over. I want like a 5 minute at this point. If it's going to be so pronounced, I'd want to see some sort of maybe a 5 minute swing high again. So if this is like one swing high, have it form another, maybe it sweeps. So that would be a later trade, if anything. But typically when things get real extended, it's either, setting a trap for the reversal or it's just really strong. I think the location made it really strong. So we'll give it time. If this is all of a pullback that we get, I'm going to lose it. But I think we'll dip into the 5 minute right here. I'm going to wait because obviously we have 10 a.m. and I want this 15 to get a counter signal. So if it's like forming a hammer right here at the top, I want it to dip and then form a swing low in that gap. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to changing my bias. It really depends. There's a lot of days where it will be bullish off the open. I don't get an entry like this, and then it ends up being the short that I do catch. So from that perspective, Mike, I do think that that's a scenario that can happen. Typically, when it's real aggressive one way, it sets the stage for it to run back the other way. Like that's, another way to look at it. I know that answer is a little two-sided, but it's just the reality. Sometimes when there's a failure to give you an entry like this, I notice that it will be a good short. But if it's just strong, then it's also just strong. Like I can't tell you right now which one's which. I do think it is stronger than it being a trap. I do think that this will be a good location to get involved, but we have time, a little bit of time right now. They need me to hire me to design all of these indicators, all these tools. I swear the default settings, I don't know who invented this shit or who put it together. It looks terrible. Looks terrible. Yeah. Three minutes till the hourly close, so we're almost there. Almost there, guys. What a move. What a move. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Stuff like this is nice because, it'll sell so long and so often for weeks at a time that people forget that this shit happens. And these moves are way more common than just selling off like crazy. Yep. So yeah, with the top one launch, I will be giving away 5 accounts, challenge accounts, evals. You think you're sitting out today? Really wanted to trade because, yeah, I feel you. So I think I'm sitting out today, wanted to trade because I lost the last 2 days. Usually when I come back wanting, yeah, you're gonna end up losing. I feel you. That's the thing. Like you can't really force your way out of a slump. I feel like you almost have to get more selective, I guess. That's at least what I've learned through just like different trading slumps I've been in. I have to just really not care because the more I care about like, damn, I just took a losing trade, it really just fucks up your confidence. You just have to go, okay, well, that happens sometimes, right? I take a losing trade. That's some of the time. Right now, your strategy might be 40%, 50%, 60%. So you're going to win half the time, lose half the time. But then, or if you want, like a lot of guys are like, oh, look at this, a 20-hour trade. You might lose eight out of 10 times trying to get that fucker. So yeah, it's but people act surprised when the losing trades that are assigned to their probability of winning come around. They're like, "What? How could this happen to me?" Bro, you signed up for the trade. That's your strategy. So, I think for prop firms personally, what I've learned this year, I think higher win rates are definitely going to be more beneficial to your mental health. Because if you go into a slump and then you get market conditions that don't favor your edge, it's not a good mix. So I would definitely recommend stacking the confluences. So that's what I'm doing today. The reason that I'm taking I haven't done anything. I haven't taken a single trade on this account. I haven't done that because I want the variables to align for me. I could have entered on any of these setups, right? And it might be 40, 50, 60%, but I'd rather wait for like an 80% likelihood of winning. Still, we have not went into that 5-minute gap. We haven't even went into the 15 on ES. So I think it might just be wound up tight. Like sometimes it gets really tight at the highs and it just cannot go lower. So that's a variable that I might have to consider. Give it some time. NQ gave a little bit of a sweep of the recent low. So had a loss this week from a dumb mistake. I really worked hard to understand why. Boom. Boom. See, how else are you going to trust yourself other than putting in safety guards? Coming up with systems to avoid doing that same thing again. That's being a proactive trader, that's what you got to do. So awesome work on that. We'll watch this gap, see what happens here. I know what level I want to engage with. So, I mean, I guess NQ kind of gave you an entry with that 1-minute fair value gap at 10 a.m. ES did not. ES is held stronger. So there's nothing I can do. There's literally nothing I can do. I have a game plan. The levels make sense to me. It's something that I've seen many times in the past. So yeah, if we don't get that, I'm not going to do it. You have the opportunity for there to be like an entry here, but even then it really kind of seemed like it's just kind of rampy today. So I'd be looking right here. Motherfucker. It's just like zero dips. So Yeah, if it hits this level, I mean, that's pretty much it for the day, right? It does not want to dip into anything for the life of it. Because you got to understand, even from here, 60 to 72, this is a big trade. If it pulls into here, but it has not pulled into, like, I'll walk you through ES today. We have not pulled into one fucking fair value gap. 0, 0, 0, nothing, nothing, nothing. And kinda, this is not the one I want. I want the 5 minute. If you get in here, it can easily just come to the 5 minute, but just not today. So, nothing you can do. Well, maybe you can. I can't do anything with this. Maybe there's a couple of people out there who caught some trades today. Yeah, boom, that's money. If you do not get an entry, do not take an entry. You have to just take the trades that are obvious. If it's not abundantly clear that there's a good setup, then there's probably not. Yeah, for real. This is the type of day you say, don't sweat it, enjoy the weather, and honestly, just chill out. I mean, we got the top one launch in a couple hours, so that's sick. Be focused on that, helping people with that, but chill for the most part. I think today is a great day to enjoy the weather. It works out well too, because I didn't really sleep all that great last night, so I came into today kind of expected to be a slower day, and unfortunately, I just didn't get an entry on anything. So we'll watch this 5660 area to see if we get a little bit of a pullback there. I mean, and anyone who's watching this, they might be like, "Oh, well, it pulled back a little." It's like, yeah, it did. It absolutely did. It did. Maybe I could have been more proactive buying a pullback to the fucking 9 moving average, right? It's just I anticipate a little bit of a deeper pullback just based on my experience with these assets. The indices, they tend to revert a little bit harder than this. This is trading like some post earnings like Tesla or something. Typically, markets move a little bit slower. They move a little bit more sideways. They don't just ramp all day. But that's the Trump effect. Volatility. We wanted it, right? Apparently, we did. How do you enter the running for an account giveaway? Yeah, it's simple. Anyone who buys anything, any account, gets one entry. So I'm pretty sure it's buy like purchase. So if you get let's just say you bought like a 50K challenge or 150 straight to funded, each purchase with the code use is like one entry. So I have five accounts I'm gonna give away, 5 challenge accounts. So what I'm saying is I think it's like if you split up your transactions, it probably counts better than just one thing if you bought like 3 accounts. But you get 3 accounts with top one. They're mainly focused, and I guess it's a good time to bring it up. They're mainly focused on getting people to live trading. So a lot of prop firms, a timeline. Yeah, it's pretty much like the first week. I believe that's this deal. I'll check the flyer and stuff, but it's just for the launch. It's for the launch. I think I'm gonna announce it maybe the 11th, something like that. First week or two. But yeah, what they prioritize is it's not just having everyone on sim funded. Where I never realized how bad of a problem it was until I started looking at Twitter, and I'm like, oh god, like some people make a fucking killing with like 20 Apex accounts, like absurd amount of money. But Apex doesn't have any live traders at all, so that means all of those payouts, 100% of those payouts are from people failing, 100% of them. And I'm like, okay, I can see the issue here. Because if you do not have live traders at a prop firm, you don't have any back-end copy trading. And obviously, Apex, their terms of service, it says that they can essentially copy trade your account, but they don't have anyone live. So it's like it's to their discretion to what rate they do that. But with legitimate prop firm, what they do is they'll have an internal fund where they're copy trading the best traders. That generates more income for them. Helps them diversify risk rather than just run 80% off sales all the time, every day. You know how many emails I have from Apex? I mean, almost. Like I would say it is. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's unfortunate. The word I use. I said it's the most parasitic form of wealth redistribution, in my opinion. So yeah, when something's like that nasty, I don't really like it. All right, so we're seeing ES kind of round out here. We'll look at this a little bit. Monitor the 5 minute. 5 minutes an inside bar. So this is going to be your little higher low right here. So if it pulls back into here, story of my life. This is a 2-minute gap. Yeah, so you're in a 2-minute gap. Let's see if it dips into this 1-minute gap right here. I think this is a nice area for maybe a small scalp. So charts are kind of insane right now. We'll go ahead and kind of reduce some stuff. See what we got. So not only do we have this right here, we also have, is this the same level? Okay, cool. Gotcha. Now we're talking. So pull this up. But the cool thing is, yeah, with live, they really try to help traders with the actual live account. It's not like you're not losing a lot. You actually there's benefits to being in a live account with them. So there's a real clear path there with the number of payouts you get to take and all that good stuff. So watching this reaction here, I'm cautious of the 15 because the 15's folding over like crazy. So I'm not sure I want to buy this just yet. Like look at this. So I'm going to measure this range of this 15-minute candle. It's a good tool for you guys. See how it's into that 50%, right? Let's make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's into this 50% of this range. So it's kind of a weak topping tail signal after running out of swing high, like right here. I think this red. So there is a counter signal here. It's not just an obvious long. It's really not. I think this is kind of a garbage long, to be honest. If you look at NQ, it looks terrible. So keep these levels in mind. Let's see what I got here. I think NQ is probably going to run that low. I think ES as well. So I don't think I'm going to even bother touching this. Well, I know I'm not. I'm just letting you know I'm not going to trade this one right here. Look at NQ. NQ looks really bad. So NQ is leading the way on the selling. Look at this. See, so right here, this opening price breaking below this. This might be what, Mike was mentioning. How do you know when to look for a counter signal? Well, this could potentially be your counter signal. I don't know that I want to trade it just based on me. However, like you would look at something like this. Yeah, an 81-point stop. I'm not doing that today. Something like this, right? Don't take it for, it's not financial advice. You wanted this to close, but I'm saying that's the structure I'd be looking at. This 5-minute tweezer top. This will be your change in state right here. It ran out midnight open. That's an idea. I don't really love it, but I see it. I see that potential. Always weigh out both sides of the trade. It'll help you in the long run. Problem is with change in states is a lot of times if they don't close aggressively below the open, they'll just bounce, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, prop firms can be such a great tool for traders. It's just that so often they're so unethical, at least in my perception, right? Obviously don't sue me, whoever, but yeah, they're largely unethical in a lot of ways, especially when it's just that oversaturation of copy trading, because it's not only that traders are failing, it's that traders are failing with leverage on leverage products. They're trying to pass 20 accounts and they're failing 20 accounts and they have 20 activation fees. That's why they could do the 80% off, because you're still going to pay the 150 for the activation fee. It's not 80% off. It's still like $100. So they're taking $100, $200 from you at a time, and then they're paying people that like massive chunks of money that do well with copy trading. So yeah, it's very, very, very interesting stuff. So ES is back into VWAP. Interesting. Okay, I like this. Maybe we'll see. This is NQ VWAP as well. MES. Interesting. So get rid of this bullshit level. Get rid of this, and then let's observe. So we got here. Let's see this up to here. So it might hold VWAP right there. Question is, with something like this, do you immediately trade back towards the highs? I don't know. It's kind of been one of those markets. This would be your 50% down here. I would personally like to see this maybe overshoot VWAP a little bit, like sell below, then rip back higher, because you do have that 1-minute imbalance there. So patience. Not everyone's got it. So if you can be patient in times like this, you'll do well. like a failed potential low right here might be interesting. It could very well just hold. I mean, I'm inclined to think that that 5 minute gets revisited, so that might be my detriment. But I've known that to be something that's hurt me in the past, not waiting for that. So I'm willing to just wait for it as a base habit. Like, why are we going to just leave this gap open? You know, drawing liquidity is still right here. So I mean, it could reach for it, but again, just this area. A lot of good price action study today, like a lot of good tape reading, I would say. However, it's just unfortunate if you don't get an entry. Alrighty, so you're seeing this little bit of a fail right here. This is in alignment with what I would think. I do want to be mindful of potential counter signals. I can't be too bullish because when I start to see stuff like this, it really starts to make me think that this might sell a little more aggressively than I would hope. So I'm not ready to buy this just at the highs per se, because if it needs to overshoot or if it just completely fails, then I'm going to kind of be anticipating that. So you have the 15 closing in about 10 seconds. The hourly is formed a top wick. The hourly is still very young, obviously, so you don't have to worry too much. But this 15-minute candle, we want to see what we do. We have a range here, a doji. Yeah, exactly. Better to wait than to not at this point. You're exactly right. You're at that awkward stage where even if you wanted to be aggressive and get into a trade, like that's all gone. That was on the open. Right now, you genuinely have to wait for a really precise structure based entry or just do nothing. If you can't wait, honestly, just lock your account, go outside, touch grass, because yeah, this will test you. Right here, though, I do like what I'm seeing. I would say my attention's peaked. I'm cued in on price. I'm not like I'm anticipating something will happen. I don't think this is completely random. I think we will still dip and potentially form that swing low, maybe a little bit of a breaker in this 5 minute gap. Then we could trade back towards the highs. I'm more than willing to wait for that, but I'm not going to wait all day. So as we get closer, like 15, 20 more minutes, I'll probably out of here. I think I have a call at 8. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully you guys are picking up on some things. I know there's a lot of analysis, a lot of different thoughts. So what do you guys want to be thinking about when you're trading on, especially like an instant funded account? If you're going to get the instant funded account, don't be quick to just try to like make money in it. That defeats the purpose. And I know there's a lot of bad habits that get built during evals a lot of times. I can tell you, I mean, I pass an eval in 2 days. I don't care. If it's one day, I pass it in one day. But does that mean it's the best use of risk management? It's the best display of your trading? By no means is that the case. So you can't have those habits in an instant funded account, because if you're going to pay, $400, $500, $600, depending on which company you go with, you're going to just be wasting money at a faster rate. But you get this account, this 150K with a discount today is $400. Not bad. Not bad. It goes live in a couple hours. So stalling out midnight open on both ES and NQ. On a setup like this, yeah, you see these down candles right in this inversion, or I guess reclaimed inversion, basically like right here. You could argue that this is a trade, right? Stop down here, target up here. This is pretty much similar to a trade that I took last night in Asia on my other account. So that's also another reason why I'm going to be a little slower to want to rush, because I already made almost $300 last night. So I don't necessarily need to make it right now. If there's a setup, I'm more than willing to take it, but I'm not going to force something. I don't have any mental stress or any sort of external pressure to make a trade work. I've left all that at the door. There's no need to put any of that onto the charts. If you're on a losing streak, forget about it. Honestly, it's just you have to keep your eyes forward and focus on the next trade, because it's already going to be challenging as it is. If you're trading to try to prove something or try to make back losses, it's way harder that way. And it doesn't need to be. So this is a really tight action. I mean, you see this little gap right here for that, maybe splitting hairs at this point. I don't like doing that. I know a lot of guys, they really, really, really enjoy like the super tight, like just, tiny scalp, like, oh, see, it's perfect. It's a perfect model. I'm like, dude, like, no. How many points was that? 3 points on ES? I'm good. I would prefer a little bit of a cleaner structure. I don't like to look at the chart sideways. I like the chart to speak to me. I think it's a better habit. So yes, this is a gap. Yes, I can see this high and this high, but like, come on, dude. We're talking like pennies compared to the range. It's very likely that you could just get wicked out. So, but yeah, definitely a good workshop on being patient. We'll wait 10 more minutes and get out of here. Don't see a point in wasting everybody's day. I am mindful of the fact that almost every single time we get off a stream, it's like the move happens right after, which is kind of funny. So taking a little slower today, but yeah, this is a real example of what happens trading. You can have this same day be really bad for you. If you try to chase it, if you try to overtrade, if you try to do all this bullshit, it could be really, really bad. Or you could just be patient. Like that's the other scenario. And then maybe you don't take a trade, but I would say no trade is better than having a massive red day or a blown account or a reset. It's like, don't do all that shit. I might have a code, but I really do not want people resetting shit at all. I think it's like one of the biggest wastes of money. Don't ever reset your account. Don't ever do that shit. Just trade well. And then when you feel like you're ready to take an account or pass an account or whatever, use that skill that you have. Don't ever fucking just try to rush and blow accounts, because you'll go through so much money doing that shit. It's kind of sad how much people, they think that gambling will save them, when really the only thing that will save them is their habits. There is no gambling in trading. Trading is harder than gambling. Like you'll have a better time gambling than trying to gamble on a chart. It just won't work. The market is insanely precise with all that shit, so you're not going to get lucky. It'll grab your stop. It'll do all that shit. All right, let's see what this looks like. I see the 1 minute doing something. Can I get rid of this? Okay, cool. Oh, maybe a little too late. I saw it pulling back. I mean, from year to year, like, oh my God. I don't know. It's just so tiny. It's such a tiny range. This might have been a pullback, but I think I'm good. I think I'm good on it. I don't want to take trades that are too far out of my system, you know. Like, I'm really big on liking the trades that are at a level, right? I don't like the deep continuations in the middle of no man's land. I find that this, honestly, even though you could make money in this range, it is very likely that you do lose money just trying to just chase in the wrong area. Because think about it, like, you know, maybe this is the push that reaches, but like, why didn't this one reach? And, you know, maybe there's someone who tries to get it from there to there and it just never works for them. So it's always really important to know where your best location is going to be. For me, it's honestly like it's in this range. It's in this region. I didn't really see it at the time. So I would have expected this to be a fair value gap pullback. For it to be an equal low is kind of insane to me, but is what it is. There's no need to dwell. I'm not bothered in any regard. Like, you know, I might sound a little animated or whatever. It's mostly just for comedic effect or whatever, just to keep myself entertained, but I'm not like, I don't really care. I don't care if there's no trade tomorrow, the day after, whatever. It's NFP week. Believe so. I believe so. It's supposed to be NFP week at least, right? Yep. So trade's pretty much at target. I mean, prior day highs right there, I believe, on NQ as well. Yeah. So any questions, anybody? We'll wrap things up real quick. I'll let you guys know, keep you posted on the top one launch. We're getting real close. So good stream today, everybody. A lot of good questions, a lot of good commentary, you know, back and forth. I like that stuff. So anytime you tune in, bring your questions. I'll answer them. I'm going to be sitting here anyway, so might as well just kind of chop it up and whatnot. Alrighty, well, yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Take care, everybody. Later.